Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Nice. How are we, friends? What is happening? How are you? How am I? I am fantastic and I am doing really well. What's happening? I am good. I thought, bollocks, it's raining hard outside. What else am I going to do? Except stream. It's absolutely pissing down. I'm surprised you can't hear it. It's like fucking pissing like a racehorse. What's going on, friends? Who do we have in here? Let me check. Perfume Snobs, Dev, Juro, Andrej, MJ. How is everyone? Pradeep. Pradeep is enjoying my thumbnail. The little cat. He is called Max and belongs to Richie G's wife. And Richie G. Excuse me. Whilst I cough. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? I did my fragrance rotation today. That was fun. I did... What else did I did? Yo, DJ, how you doing? Refresh. Proudly refresh. And the tip of my head is beautiful. I'm sure you agree. Perfectly formed. Hello, Kitchy K. How are you doing? Today I am wearing Bois d'Argent, one of the finest fragrances this side of 2000. Dave is incredible, says Dev. Who's Dave? Hola Germs, scent of the day is Mon Numero 10 for the second day in a row. I have Mon Numero 10, where is it? It'll be somewhere. It is somewhere in there. It's just hidden away, I reckon. Hello Dave, how are you? I am fantastic and I am doing really well. Hello Dave. I know Dave. Scent of the day is Elizabeth Taylor. White Diamonds Night, a resinous apricot fragrance. Nice. Resinous apricot. Resinous apricot. I wonder what could I equate that to? A resinous apricot. Beautiful. Oh, fucking hell, I've used quite a bit of this fucking follow, you know. Like the skin of the bottle's starting to come off a bit, so I can actually see how much I've got left. Western Oud says, hi all, scent of the day's Florist Neroli Voyage. Cool. Neroli Voyage. I sold Mediterranean Neroli this week. Sangonamaya Kokomi. Hi. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you saying hi. How are you? Prodip says, I am going through a benzoine phase at the minute. Any recommendations from y'all? Boucheron, Jaipur. I think Monaro did another one. She did that. But what else did she do that had that kind of creamy aesthetic? She went through about a 7-year period, 5, 6, 7-year period where she made really, really creamy stuff. And it was all a riff on a theme. She did like the Little Empicaro Masculine. She did Jaipur Pour Homme. She did Bois d'Argent, which is one of the standout fragrances of like ever. Sangonomy, I am well, thank you. I have not seen you before. I am glad you are here. Probably says Bois d'Harmonie. Yes, I was watching a video by Henna the other day, and she was talking about I beg your pardon, I'm very sorry. Got a frog in my throat. Benzoine. Surely there's a fucking a zoologist that's got a fat benzoine. You know? I'll tell you what you might like. I don't know that it's benzoine, but it's definitely vanillic. I think there's benzoine in Amber Fetiche. Meurodont as well. I'm absolutely fucking loving that. Amber Fetiche has got this slightly smoky kind of thing going on. Beautiful though. Beautiful. Sorry, friends, I'm fucking distracted. Someone's texting us, giving me 2 conversations. I'm not very good at holding 1 conversation, never mind 2. Benzoine Bohème, really a reference, lovely. Saint Zatura did a video about that the other day. I was here a little while ago. I used to be called Raiden Shogun. Ah, yes. I don't think you remember. No, I do. I do remember. Welcome back. The Diptyque Benjamin Bohem is very nice, says Guro. I've heard this. He was raving about it. Senzatura was absolutely raving about it. Which is fun. Good channel. In fact, I'll tell you what I might do. All right. I'll put his. I will put his. Channel in the chat. So if you want, you can go and follow him. He is a good lad. Reminds me of the glory days of Fragcom. He's a good channel. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. It's still a bit muggy here, even though there was like thunder and lightning and brimstone and everything earlier on. Welcome, Rachel. How are you? Ooh. Have you smelled the new Tom Ford Mur Mystia? No, but I've heard that it's very underwhelming. And it shouldn't be. That should be a Tom Ford fucking spectacular. Oh, who has a channel I want to see? Senzatura, I've just dropped the link. Rachel, he's really good. He's really good. It's like the golden age of Fragcom. You'll know exactly what I mean when you say it. Just the way he talks about fragrances, the way videos are. It reminds me of Fragcom 2016, 2015. That sort of thing, you know. Happiest of Sundays to you, Michael Harness, and how are you? How is Tye Valley, Ohio? It's not Ohio, is it? It's Oregon. Sorry about that. How's Tye Valley? Subscribe, says Rachel. I've been wearing Bois d'Argent today and it really is absolutely spectacular. You know what I mean? And that's the Eau de Parfum. It's a 2015, 2016 bottle. It's fucking glorious. I'm doing great today, thanks. I'm happy. I'm happy that you are doing well. I'm alright. Had a big nap again today. I've been doing a lot of sleeping through the day. I must need to, you know? There must be something about me that needs to sleep. Good to hear, says Michael. So, I thought we would talk about my plans for autumn, perfume-wise. I'm living with ghosts. Is wearing Chanel Boy. Good stuff. It is good stuff. I feel like I have other things that does the same thing. You know, I'm trying to really cut back on my acquisition of perfume. Somebody put up for sale. Do you know what it is, right? Today, I got a notification from eBay. Somebody has put up for sale a bottle of Mur Ardent full. Right? I've been looking for that for ages and not one came up. And then within the space of about a week, right, I got two, thanks to Pradeep. And then another one popped up today on eBay and it's gone already. Somebody already bought it, 150 quid. Alan Hansen, how are you? So, it's been a bit of when it rains it pulses spaced out and you're not wrong. They are not wrong. For your information, I named my new Sebo vacuum cleaner Barbara. Yes. Do you sing I Want to Break Free while you're pushing it around the house? I don't know if anybody else sold that Freddie Mercury auction this week. Good grief. A bangle. There was a bangle that he wore in the Bohemian Rhapsody video. Went for £500,000. That's a lot of money for a bangle. Spent about 40 quid on it in the fucking in the 1970s. Absolutely bonkers. Bonkers. I've also been chatting with Fliss. Fliss is looking forward to coming on to the channel and doing a couple of lives with me. Mary's best friend, that's right. Oh, sorry about that. I beg your pardon. Micah, how are you? I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from this bloody heat. People have too much money, says Rachel. Could educate a village for that bangle. Yes, we are at the height of our decadence. Hard to see where it can go from here. People do have too much money, Rachel is not wrong. It's pretty grim. Scent of the day, modern Timbuktu. How do you find it, Micah? How do you find modern Timbuktu? Excuse me. I wish, says Michael. Oof. Scent of the day is 2015 Aventus. People will be absolutely robbing you. Well, I say robbing you. People will be banging down your door to buy that bottle. People will be desperate for it. I've been obsessed by Jasmine these last few days. The Bewitching Yasmin by Penhaligons, says Alan Hansen. You got extra? Send it my way. Money, that is. Divine, welcome. What did you blind buy yesterday? What are those bottles of Surge? Surge fragrances you got that Ram talks about with the odd shape. Describe the odd shape. You mean the tall black bottles? Oh, I'll show you. A tall black bottle. It's like an obelisk. Good evening, John Hoyt. Have you heard of the British rock band Budgie? Yes, of course I have. Welcome, Duncan. Rami Malek sucked in that movie, says Pradeep. Well, the Freddie Mercury one. Oh, Divine's got the new Killian. Which one? The one that I covered. Smoking Hot. I need to declutter if it's not good. I did a video. I've done a first impression. 20% off. That's always good. We'll need to declutter if it's not good, but it's not officially out yet, so I can probably get my money back. Yes. Don't you know you're very close to Ram? Rachel says scent of the day. No scent of the day. Smelling materials, fruity synthetics. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce those words, lest I cause some sort of incident. Even Budgie is bored with Russia, says Alan. Don't you know you're very close to one that looks like it has a stomach? One that looks like it has a stomach. Ah! It wasn't a Surge. It was Feminite Dubois by Shiseido. That's this one. It looks like it's meant to look like a fucking... I don't even know what it's meant to look like, but I can tell you one thing. In the hand, it's probably the most satisfying bottle. Doesn't matter which way you hold it either. In the hand, That feels absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect, I can tell you. No doubt about it. The most ergonomic bottle I've ever had. It's just the height of Serge Luton that. He was the creative director of Shiseido at the time. Oh, it's so good as a bottle. Give me 2 seconds, friends. I'm going to dehydrate. I'll be back in a minute. Maybe 2 minutes, but we'll see. Hi. How's it going? Ooh, a nooge. A nooge. How's a nooge? Oh, what's that story about that shaped woman? I think so. I want to say so, but I'm not entirely sure. Anybody here smelled Equine de Fume? I hear it's well blended but unoriginal. I've heard that there's big amber woods. You know. Nice for 30 minutes amber woods afterwards, says Prodi. Might feel nice, but it looks really fucking odd. It's not a conventional shape. You get used to it though. I want to say it looks a bit like a turkey drumstick. Or a chicken wing. Or a chicken leg, sorry. You know? Duncan is brown. He's a brother from another mother, says Janusz. Anybody follow Harrods exclusive perfumes? They've gone wild on exclusive for autumn. No, I don't. What have they got? Boris, welcome. I need to get my Anoush haul in. Just been sidetracked by a bit of a life. Somewhere around Duncan's in the town. Yes, Anoush is brown, but he is never a clown. A lifestyle not for sale. I need to email you back. I am very sorry. I've got 2 or 3 bottles. Let me check. If they're 100 mils, I won't need one. But if so, I would very much appreciate it. This is one of my favourite patchoulis. I might wear this tomorrow, actually, depending on the weather. Thick, syrupy, and resinous. It's their best fragrance by some considerable margin. Ooh. I beg your pardon whilst I hydrate. And thank you for getting in touch, and I do apologise for not getting back. I know of Harrods exclusives, but many of them are actually available on the websites of the brands themselves too. This has been the case with many scents, including Miscellaneous, Oud Maracuya, and Haltane. Halston bottles were stylistically dented. Sushi Imperial. Boris is wearing l'Odyssée pour homme. Oof. A blast from the past. Living with Ghosts said I recently lost out on a vintage Oud Isfahan after an eBay bidding war. CD cap. Only satisfaction is that my bid's forced the winner to pay more. I try to take solace in that when I lose out on stuff as well. Absolutely. Bastards. People beating me to things. Oh, I could wear B tomorrow, couldn't I? I pulled up the Blonde Amber page on Fragrantica, and the last review is €600 KYS. Yeah, it's grim, isn't it? The price palaver at the minute. It's not ideal. Ridispahan is not very good anyway. Consider yourself lucky, says Spaced Out. I ended up selling my Oud Palau, which I think is better than Oud Ispahan. But I ended up smelling my Oud Palau because I pulled it out this year and smelled it once, and the first thing I got, and I'd never noticed it before, the first thing I got was Rage and Amberwood. And I thought, oh no. And do you know what it is? I must have worn it like twice. Oud Rose just isn't my style. I've got Monterey by Dusita, and that's about as far as I've got the Night as well. I don't know that I class that as an Oud Rose, more of just an Oud, really. I'm not a big Oud fan. I'm just not. You know what I mean? For anybody interested in sampling Clive Christian, there is a Polish perfume boutique called Quality, or Misala Quality, who sells 0.6 mil for like €6 per cc sample. Got some on the way. Clive Christian's overrated, I think, though. Speaking of Amberwoods, I finally picked up Sultan Vetiver, says Micah. Yikes. I was happy to sell my Sultan Vetiver, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Proddy was sending me extremely expensive bottles of the Moon. No, it's not. It's the Night. How big are you? How big's that bottle, Proddy? How big is it? 250 mil? It's a lot of juice. It's a lot of smelling like shit. Good grief. Anyone here wants 31 Root Cambon or Bois des EDP? I'm selling those. I'm sure somebody might take you up on it. That was a very qualified statement, was it? I'm sure somebody might. Will you buy Bois de Zil again? No. No, I'm not a fan. I've got Samsara. I think it does the same thing, but a lot better. Samsara EDP. Samsara EDP. No. Yes. Samsara EDP does the same thing, but better. It's got real Mysore sandalwood in it. I don't know how much real Mysore sandalwood it's got in it, but it's got real Mysore sandalwood in it. I think it does a lot. I think it does it a lot better. I could wear that tomorrow. I'm spreading my wings as far as perfume is concerned. I'm trying to wear as much as I can from the collection. I could wear Russian Tea by Masque Milano. I sold my cologne Indelible this week as well to a friendly face from the channel. I hope you're well if you're listening. Maybe vintage Bois de Zil. I mean, not. Rich, have you pulled the trigger on that third bottle of Miradon? No, somebody else beat us to it. Could be up to 25%, I reckon, Rich. My Parfum's about 30 to 40%. That is thick. If you have 31 Rue Cambon EDT, I'll take it. Oh, let me check. Here is my eau de parfum. Do you have your concentration on you, bitch, you? You do not. Article de demonstration. It's gorgeous, this. Really grown up. Great perfume. I'm waiting for Black Friday to buy Russian Tea. Apparently last Black Friday they gave you €500 worth of free stuff when you bought 100 ml. That should tell you how much their perfumes cost. Rich, bring out the 200 ml of Derby, could you please? I could, since you asked so nicely. But I will have to get up. Just give me a minute. Oh, I'll be back. One moment, please. God knows. God knows. It's me. I have returned to you. And I will bust out my 200 mils. Here it is, of Derby. My favourite leather. Do 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 do. Love Russian Tea. Got a thick 100 ml. This is product. The vintage one costs like 250. There's one of the great sights in perfumery, that, isn't it? Look at the size of the bastard thing, man. It's massive. And fucking credible. Most of those exclusives remind me of all the ladies. Not my thing, except for Coromandel. I love that stuff. I tend to agree with you. Sycamore and Coromandel. Boy. Do you like that? A lifestyle, not for sale. It is absolutely glorious. And no mistake. Richard's still got the box, must be special, says Spine Matt. Ooh! Ooh, ooh, ooh! Let me quickly grab my vintage Magi Noir. Because Me and Spy and Mash were talking about it earlier. What sort of weapon is that, Rich? It's a big weapon. I only pack big weapons. As we know. Big nuclear weapon. Big fat weapon. Where is my Maginoir? There you are. It is a 30mm. It is a 30mm Spy and Mash. Maginoir. Maginoir's box. Here it is. It is. Where are we? It's got the ingredients on the back. I think a Noosh sold me this. Oh, it's nice. The spray is shocking. It's nice. It's got a little bit of Feminité Dubois about it. You've been fiddling with Maginoir's box. Wishful thinking. Oh, it's good sauce, that. Hey Mitch, hello Sepa. I went to a vintage perfume outlet event and I bought some impressive stuff for cheap. What did you get? Lovely designer, only got 15ml of the stuff because it's so pricey nowadays, says Nick. Yeah. I very much want 2 of the 4 new Mask Milano Ouds, but they're only being released in 100ml size. No 50s, no deal, says Alan. Hello, Christio. How are you? Yes, I got the Ruby Collection sample set, by the way. What a shite set. Pathetic quality and presentation. Oh, dear. Maginoir is so mossy. It's the mossiest of moss. Lovely. The fucking foam doesn't even hold the samples in place and the shit's just end up rolling around on the bottom, says Divine. Let me see the box and bottle, Duck. What of, Stephs? The Maginoir or the Derby? Vintage Creed Virgin Island water for €45. That is pretty unbelievable. I also bought a 10ml of Part 2 Pour On for €10. That's very unbelievable as well. Ooh, it's got a box. When the one I ordered arrives, I'll let you know if I want it. No problem. A little bit fruity. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Hello, Pat Lester. Scent of the day is Chanel's Paris Edinburgh. Good fragrance. Do you like Virgin Island water, actually? I just like the dried down. It was a bit too sugary. No, I'm not a massive fan. Not a massive fan. That and Silver Mountain water. The Maginoir. And I'll show you the bottle and the box. The bottle's plastic, like. Bottle's made of fucking plastic, would you believe? Get any myrrh from it? Says Spy and Mash. Pass. I'll have to move Derby out of the way for Mudgy. There you go. Some of Lancome's finest. Picked up, Mike V, welcome. Picked up a Dior Homme O for 100 Canadian yesterday. I love that stuff. That's a good deal. Russian tea oud is superb, and Love Kills oud is curiously lovely. Russian tea oud was just average, says Divine. It smelled like OG with added oud, but the other recalls don't pop as much. LK oud, in my opinion, was better. They just made it sweet, so it's like intense cafe. She also has Creed Venezia. Do you recommend? Do I recommend? Do I? Whoops. Sorry, Margie. knocking Margie about. I have a bottle of Venetia Creed. That's quite good. Yes, I do recommend. It's got a vintage aspect to it. I think Pradeep might like this as well. Sorry, friends, I'm getting distracted again. Margie looks wobbly. She started drinking again, says Nick. Is that a vintage Margie duck? I think so, but not that vintage. Would you wear Margie duck? Even though it's for women, is it feminine smelling? It's more masculine smelling than most masculine fragrances today, but it's classically feminine, you know? Yikes, the price. This is probably the price of what? She was selling it for €65. I should have bought it for price alone, but I ran out of cash. Oh, get in there. I'm going to wear you. I'm going to wear you at some point. Margie Noir is fab. Margie Noir is fab. Oh, the Creed Venetia. Yeah. The price of that will be silly. I've got a couple I've got to back up, actually. Hello, Paroli. How's Paroli? But it's getting hot in here. Christy, you're right, so much beautiful moss. Is modern and taste worth it? Well, they keep putting up the price. A year or two ago, I'd have said, like, yeah, definitely, but they keep putting the price up, and it's like, you can get vintage ones for, like, not that much more now, you know? And it's like, the vintage ones are better per price per mil, like, simply because of the inflated price of retail. But you can get Antaeus at like not like below retail prices because it's not one of the ones that they like crack down on exclusivity. Excuse me, I'm hydrating like a motherfucker. I'm all right, Paroli. Thank you very much. Modern Antaeus is really good, but it doesn't project that much anymore, and the longevity is still superb. Yeah, it is. It's still better than anything else you're going to get out there. It's just the price. When you compare it now to the vintage prices, it's not as great as it was a couple of years ago. You know, I still use my bottle that I've got out here is my modern bottle, and I'll only start using my vintage ones once I've used my modern one because I'm in no rush. Because the modern one's still really good. You know, it's a judgment call. It's a judgment call for you. You know, it's what you think is worth your money. I will put Derby back on for a little bit of bottle porn. Anybody want some box porn? You got the vintage Derby bottle. So lucky to have this. I paid a lot of money. Nearly a year since I bought this, you know. Bought this for my birthday last year. Hermes is cheaper. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to up Chanel and Tom Ford. It's getting silly with Chanel recently. I can get vintage versions of Paul Monsieur ADT cheaper if I'm patient, says Nick. Yes. I've really gone off modern on taste, but still love vintage versions, says Nick. I'd be interested in trying the modern one. I'm only familiar with the vintage, says Paroli. Also a bit silly, but it would be fun to see perfume connoisseurs like you and Ramsey to release a video which highlights your most complimented perfumes. My most complimented perfume is one. I have one most complimented perfume, and that is Secret de Parfum. Secret de Parfum. Opium Secret de Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. $1,650 for 100 mils. Well, I got mine half price. Well, actually 4 times cheaper per mil. I paid £800 for 200 mil, which is £100 per 200 pounds per 50 mil. But the scent's in perfect condition. This is in absolutely pristine condition. You can still get the mint. You know what I mean? There's no smell of bad alcohol. It's been stored beautifully. I keep this in the box. The most light it ever sees is like now. It hasn't been out the box since like last year. Amazing. I hope Derby will come back. The reformulation is very good. Have you smelled the original? Good evening, Rich and chat, says Nick. How are you? Unreasonably warm here down south. Hats off for going full Koros last week. I'm back on the Koros train, I must admit. I kind of ebbed away from it last year, but I'm back this year. Sold a few bottles, gave a couple of bottles away, made us appreciate it more. Didn't wear it for a year, now I'm fully back. I'll probably wear it again this week. Mine is ironically enough on taste. People love it. It's a beautiful thing. It's basically an expensive paperweight. You could hold down some amount of paper with that, but it's got fucking weight to it as well, you know. There is decent weight in there, I'm telling you. I'll keep that bottle when it's finished. I'll cry when I finish that. But I'll keep it. It's absolutely fucking horribly warm here as well, Nick. But we had thunderstorms today. We had thunderstorms here today. Bellamy is way more heavy on the leather. Yes. Pat Lester says, I hope Guerlain brings Derby back into production. I don't think it'll ever smell like that again. Hi, Erin. That is a fine bottle of Derby. It is a fine bottle of Derby. A fine-ass bottle of Derby. You can finish it in one wear, and if you pour it all on yourself for one epic long wear, it will be on for days. Whereas if I just decant it and spray it, I'll get years out of it. I've actually got a 30 mil. I've actually got a 30 mil that I got from a Nuge that I'm going to wear first. Let me show you. Come now. Don't be this way. There, look. A little gold cap Derby. So I'm going to wear that first. Today I bought a partial of Gucci Guilty Absolute from 2017. I've got fucking shit tons of that. I've got this. I've got a couple more bottles of this, and then I've got 3 or 4 150 mls, which I paid like 50 quid each for, and now they go for like 95 on Notino. Ridiculous. Oh, baby Derby, that's right. Whoa. You can finish it in one wear. I'm not doing that. I read that twice. I don't want to. Oh, the new Gucci Elixir is one of the most disgusting things I've smelled. I couldn't believe it. It was released this week. Is it really? What's it like? What's happening with it? What is it like? Elixirs. Yeah, there's like elixirs just been fucking. Everybody's releasing elixirs at the minute. It's mad how that naming convention is just all of a sudden. Do you reckon they've been to like some kind of meeting and just somebody said it and everyone looked at each other and they were like, yes, yes. Elixir de Merveille was from 2006. It smelled like a fresh opened condom. Whoa. I keep considering the original Gucci Pour On, but it's just a weak. It's just so weak. I'm not even wanting to go on about performance, says Nick S. Jean-Paul Gaultier Lamar Elixir is the worst release of 2023. They've been bad for a while, haven't they? That's the difference between the perfume concentrate and Elixir. Pass. Do not know. What? Hats. Dunno. Elixir is just a new buzzword. Yeah. Totally. The new buzzword. Probably sounds about right. I don't either, it's just dumb. It is dumb, Christy. Varanas Radari did a video about perfume concentrations and their naming conventions the other day. It's just a way of marketing and skirting around restrictions because you pay more tax, or that used to be the case, that you would pay more tax on higher concentrations. Sauvage Elixir started it, but the difference, it's actually good. So I'm not a fan. I don't like any of the Sauvages. Oh, have you ever smelled Fendi for women? I never hear anyone mention. I really like it. I think I have smelled it, but I don't remember it, if that makes sense. 1 million absolutely is a good flanker, says Duncan. Cologne Aficionale is EDP extra. Wait till Bleu de Chanel Elixir comes out. Hopefully they've knocked that on the head. That one broad-shouldered, deep-chested, strong-limbed, front-eyed bottle there. Yes, it is. It's a big unit. It's a hairy chest. It's a fucking 200 ml of one of the great men's perfumes of all time. With hindsight. I was just reading about that one in my Italian perfumery book. Sounds interesting. I've got an Italian perfumery book. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, wait till Bleu de Chanel Elixir comes out. No, Chanel makes trends. Don't think they will do an Elixir. Does anyone have a favourite Eris fragrance? MX. M-triple-X. M-triple-X. Italian book. Says Pradeep. I wonder how Audrey Jane is. She was here, was it last time or the time before? Pat, keep talking, I'm listening, says Alan. They probably made the elixirs about 0.05% stronger than the EDPs. Rachel, what's your favourite Les Indomptables, says Dushan. What is your favourite Les Indomptables? What is everyone's favourite Frederic Malle, says Sarah. Favourite Frederic Malle? Not easy. Favourite Les Indomptables, probably Rose de Jamal. Andrej says, favourite Eris for me is Green Smell. Not tried the new one yet. Difficult question. I'm loving the colognes actually at the moment. I'd say Rose de Jamal. Rose de Jamal is one of the best smells I've ever smelled. Noir Peace or Fleur de Cassis, says Paroli. I'm really liking Eris Poudre at the minute. My vintage bottle of Eris Poudre is glorious. The modern one smells like an old woman. Like a grand old woman. Lipstick Rose for me. Sorry, don't be sorry. Basic Malacco, how are you, my lord? I hope you are well. Hello, Rich and chat. Hello. I'm pretty certain Frederick Malle Promise is by far my favourite. I used to have Promise, I sold it. I used to really love it, and then the amber woods just started to grow in my mind like a I don't know what grows in your mind. Some kind of worm, you know? I was afflicted. I really like the night, but a little bit of the night goes a long way. What is my favourite Frederick Malle? I'm really liking French Laura at the minute as well. Music for a While. Geranium Pour Monsieur. There's my answer. It's Geranium Pour Monsieur. I like Piss Me Off Birch Tar. Russian Leather is my favourite fragrance, but it's changed. Yeah, it's ugly when they do things like that. Redhead, freely freckled, shaggy, bearded, wide mouth, large nose, long-headed, deep-voiced, bare neck. Bare-kneed. Mine is imaginatively titled The Handbook of Great Italian Perfumery. I've got that. That's the one. That is the one. That's what I've got. Jura Rose just asked us why I'm streaming. Strange question. I've come to talk about Perfume, by God. I always try to really like it, but it's a bit too synthetic. The Promise by Frederick Malle. I used to really, really like it. I'm hesitant to go near my Jean Patou Pour Homme. I'm very convinced my nose is nowhere near ready for that. Mine's dark. Shall I go and get my bottle of that? Give us a second. I'll be back in one moment. Ooh. Oh yeah, I am back. Demonstration. One moment, I'm just taking that sticker off because it's fucking peeling off. So, there you have it, friends. That's a bit of bottle porn for you. It is a tester. It has some materials on the back, which I will show you. I love Night Flower. It reminds me of a better version of Muscat Jour. I love Geranium Pour Monsieur. It's so faint. I might just apply more. Just layer. I put like 15, 20 sprays on when I wear that stuff. And I only wear it when it's exceptionally hot. That is my Jean Patou. Vapomisier. What? Vapomisier. Vapomisier. That's an M in there. Vapomisieur. You see that? I'd never noticed that before, weren't there? You see it? I don't know that you can. There you are, look. Va Pomesier. I've never seen that before. And then on the back, we have constituents, Vetiver Bourbon, Cèdre de Virginie, Santal de Mysore, Poivre de Malabar, Sauge Scalé, Piment. Good grief. Mortified by my attempted French there. Goodness gracious. That was painful. Cherry punk on the way. What's that? I think I may need to get Black Orchid. There was a really cheap bottle of it somewhere the other day. I think Jura Rose told us about it. Call a detective, there's been a murder. Rich Mitch killed the French language. It was a little bit disastrous, that, wasn't it? Vetiver Bourbon, Cèdre de Virginie, Santal de Mysore, Poivre de Malabar, Sauge Sclary, and Piment. Silly words. Va Pomesier. That bottle is like having a first edition of the Brothers Karamazov. Intimidating. Yes. Those two are first editions of two of the finest masculine perfumes created by, well, man, really. Not so bad. I find Duck's accent quite charming in any language. Well, yes. It does need a cap. Don't, and I tend to agree. It does need a cap. I'll give you that. Actually, does anyone know a good website where I can get perfume samples for a reasonable price? Whereabouts in the world are you? If you're in Britain, Greggy Boy does. I know all this stuff's legit. You know? So that's the main thing, if they're real. And they come in various sizes as well. You know? So you can pick 2mm, 5mm, 10mm, I think. Malabar area is also notable for military guys. They even nicknamed them as Malabar. It's a type of sage. Interesting, says Paroli. Where the molecule scarioline comes from. Clary sage. Try Liz Taylor Passion Cap. That's not going to work on there. Mostly niche. I'd have to go into my bloody drawer as well. And it will be a nightmare at the minute. I'll try it after the stream though. That is some fine ass perfume. We could improve the situation if we are very careful by doing this. Oh! Salvia Sclaria. Also, Mitch, if you ever come to Amsterdam, let me know and I'll be your guide. Had been talked about, you know. The Three Musketeers. So it's basic Malacco. Morlaco. I could also do this. Took us all about the bottle porn this evening. I'm not above bottle porn. I'm not above it whatsoever. Rich, have you sampled any of the newer version Anik Guitars in the cylindrical bottles? If so, any good? I think they take decent care of their perfumes. I would prefer to get these older bottles, and they are still available and they do come up. So if you want, and then the older ones are better, as Santa Nobile in Germany is good for fragrance sampling. I think Mitch has mentioned them before. Yes, they are good. They are good, yes. Coros is D'Artagnan. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, this Mirar Dont has absolutely stolen my heart. It is beautiful, my friends. It is absolutely glorious. Be left in no doubt as to how much I love this stuff. Whoops-a-daisy, where are you going? I knew it. There you go. Balenciaga is not Portos. I'm not a fan of Portos. I think I sold my bottle to Ramsey. That Guitar Merfrag is awesome. Rich, do you like gourmands? Not hugely. Sometimes on a case-by-case basis. You know? Amen, I like a lot. Music for a While. Music for a While is a bit of a gourmand. Caramel, pineapple. I could literally take a picture of that and hang it anywhere in my home. Feel free. The view belongs to everyone. I could do with lighting it a little bit better. Hold on, let's change the colour of the lighting, shall we? That's blue. What do we think of that? That's white. What do we think of that? Yeah. I think the white goes with the white, doesn't it? That's like dark. That's as dark as it looks on camera. Oh, the cap's so... Oh! See you later, Rachel. Have a nice day. Blue and white makes the outlines of the bottom. Makes out the outlines of the bottom. Well, I beg your pardon. Can't even speak English now. Amen to the gourmands. Their full bottles are a bit pricey. Full retail prices. Samples are reasonable. Well, Spy and Mash, I had an understanding with the man who worked there, who ensured that said parcel. We wouldn't need to evoke Mr. Hunt. Let's put it like that. We both felt that the Chancellor was a busy man, and you know, me and the guy who ran that place kind of saw eye to eye on that. So I would save 20%. You know, which made it eminently worthwhile. It's where I got my Enchanted Forest. It lightened his load. That's right. It was an act of kindness. You know. I was extending the olive branch. I was doing my bit for Queen and Country. Well, King and Country now, isn't it? Fuck me, it's only been a year. God. But yes. Oh, excuse me. We didn't see the need to bother him. Happy ending, says Spine Matt. I think he was, I don't know what his name is. I don't want to say his name in case I get it wrong, you know. I might wear amber and away tomorrow. I don't know. I might wear a Les Indomitable. Les Indomitable. Don't know how I feel about Patchouli Noisette anymore. I was loving Patchouli Noisette for a while there. No, I'm not. Dura Rose has kind of put the kibosh on it for us. I get Cypriol. I get Cypriol oil. Sell, says Pradeep. I don't know. I don't know that I want to sell it. I want to spend a bit of time with it, but I don't necessarily... I don't know if I particularly love it as much as I thought I did. Malago says, that's like having Socrates, Plato, Seneca and Aristotle together for a pint. Any man's dream. It is a pretty impressive lineup amongst us connoisseurs of vintage men's perfume. There will be some people who look at that lineup and think awful old men crap style perfume, but old men crap style perfume is what I like. You know? Cuir de Chine is my favourite leather now. It was Tuscan leather. Tuscan leather is a good fragrance. I'm going to try add Antace. I could add Antace. There's a few fragrances I could add that I've got in front of us. You know, I've got Dior Homme. I've got Jules by Dior. Smolto Pour Homme's a personal favourite, but I don't know that it's necessarily one of the great men's perfumes of all time. L'air du Desert Marocain. I've got vintage Cuir de Russie. Amen. I got vintage Egoist, Ambra Sultan, Heritage, I got no leather in Cuir de Chine, says Pradeep. Fragrance with character, says Micah. Speaking of Cypriol oil, says John Hoysh, I remember some talk in the Fragcom loading Amouage's Opus 6 China, but certainly not an easy way. I'm not a massive fan of Cypriol oil. It's definitely become one of those things that is very... How do I want to put it? It's become easy for me to dislike. I can pick it out and I can dislike it at 100 yards. You know? I smell it and I associate it with bad smells. Everybody's saying that they don't get any Cuir in Cuir de Chine. So do you just get de Chine? Do you get just the Osmanthus? I know Osmanthus is a very... I actually know someone who was born and raised in China. And And he said that's like there was some osmanthus growing in like the gardens and like the plants outside and stuff. And you used to get wafts of it on the wind, and it was incredible. It's got like an apricot, rubbery. It's got more of a leather texture than it has a leather smell, you know? It's pretty much like the opposite of like this, of like Derby. It's more of like a texture than it is a smell, you know? Bellamy, I've got, I could put that in this lineup. Wouldn't look out of place. Givenchy Gentleman. Got a vintage Givenchy Gentleman. Scent of the day, by the way, was Pierre Beaumont's Ebony. I've got a bang on that. Anyway, always enjoy your streams, Rich. Keep up the amazingness. Thank you very much, Basic Malago. I appreciate it. Thank you for speaking. But I get leather in the apricots. So supply and demand. Yeah, I get the apricot vibe, absolutely. Oh, I definitely get the apricot vibe. There sits the almighty Balenciaga as I bow in reverence. It's just been too hot to wear that this week. You know what I mean? The fucking heat's been so strange. Like a wet heat, you know? Imagine it in Southeast Asia. When you're walking up the street and you're like, bloody hell. It feels like you're swimming up the street. And like the air feels more like water. And it weighs on you. Greetings, Triplet. Thank you for coming. How are you? Looking forward to wearing that in late autumn. If the weather's as shocking tomorrow, if it cools down, as soon as it cools down, I'll be throwing on Balenciaga pour on. You can guarantee it. In the next couple of weeks, friends, you can also expect to see me do my top 10 most worn fragrances for spring and summer 2023. And this will be a factual list because I go back over my Fragrantica most worns and I add them all up. So I'll be doing that maybe this week coming. You know, we're into what, the second, third week in September? It's usually about the time I do it. I'm good, Duck, and trust that you are murring along nicely. I am murring like a cat that got the cream. Or a duck that got the beak. You should track your most ones on Perfume or base notes, not Fragrantica. I agree, I should. But I don't. But I should. The only reason I still use Fragrantica is because it's the one I've always used and I know how to use it. I use Parfumo a lot more than I used to. I'm breaking myself in. If there's one thing, I like to do things and do things to last. So if I do move over to Parfumo, I want it to be when I'm ready. You know what I mean? I might do it when I'm I might do it when I am in the new year. I might do it in March when I transfer the fragrances back over. We'll see. Base Notes wardrobe is so bad right now, says Nick. Yes, they're not having a lot of luck at the minute, aren't they? The problem with Fragrantika's tracking is that you have to manually do your counts on Parfume and it does it automatically for you. Yes, if I'm going to transfer over to one of them, it's going to be Parfume. I'll be left, no doubt. I won't be going to Base Notes. I know there's a lot of people very committed to Base Notes and stuff like that, and I'm not getting involved in the forums. I'm not getting involved in Fragrantica forums, I'm not getting involved in Base Notes forums, and I'm not getting involved in Parfumo forums. That way disaster lies. I got my 2022 ones, my 2023s all properly counted. I don't doubt it. You're pushing on an open door. You're preaching to the converted. I understand and I believe you. Nick S says, I love the Bass Notes community. Post there all the time. I'm happy for you. It's just not for me. I think it's a Rich Mitch problem, not a Bass Notes problem, or a Fragrantica problem, or a Perfume. I think it's a Rich Mitch problem. Good evening, Keith. Manly Sense, how are you? Are you doing well? I hope so. I'm looking forward to wearing some Ramon Vile. Everybody seems to end up leaving Fragrantica. I think Fragrantica is good for beginners. But I think Parfumo is probably the most forward-looking one. Probably the most rounded one. Maybe the best one is in terms of like the full package. You know? I just think Fragrantica is easy to use if you are... Ali Boy said, Rich, did you see the Persley stream today? No, I'm not watching it when he's doing it with Amouage. I thought it was an advert for Amouage. Yeah. Nailed it. Sniffer, welcome to you. Is your dad also into perfumes? He wore perfumes, but he wasn't like into perfumes. He had a few, like Brut and like a couple other ones I can't remember. I just remember the bottle of Brut and it being extremely pungent. Start watching his stuff, to be honest. It's spaced out. Yeah, I think Persiles is kind of... I don't know. Make up your own mind. Visited the Balenciaga Pour On page on Fragrantica a while back. Somebody posted a comment saying, Rich Mitch, I see you. There's almost an absolute certainty that I was lurking or lingering around that page, and do quite often. I will make a concerted effort. I'm going to move to Parfumo, and I will make a concerted effort to move to Parfumo. But I won't do it for a while. I want to figure it out. It's going to take me a long time to upload my database from one to the other, you know. So you'll have to bear with us, but I will do it. There is one downside to Parfumo. The mods or database banned list. Basically, there are brands that will not get listed on the site for whatever reasons, which actually includes Sospiro. That's a Xerjoff brand, isn't it? Mostly the shitty dupe brands that don't get green lighted. Yeah, that's sound by me, that. I've come around on that 2004 Fahrenheit. I never had it prior. I feel like heat on the day I tried it that led me astray. Sorry, Frank. Welcome though, Frank. How are you? I've come around on that 2004 Fahrenheit. I never had it prior. I feel like heat on the day I first tried it led me astray. Led me astray, not ashtray, astray. Jesus. Parfume was hard to beat for ease of cataloging frags, says Nick. That's good news. Is that salmon guy still there at Amouage? Should have been sacked ages ago. He is still there. Renault Salmon. He's still the creative director, yes. Andrzej Kuta. I hope I've pronounced that right. Andrzej Kuta. Welcome. How are you? I hope you are well. Please join us. Pull up a seat. What scent are you wearing today? The only fragrance my father owned was Lilac Vegetal Aftershave, and I adore the stuff. Incredible. Vegetal Aftershave. I could make that a stream, you're right, Divine. Most people on Fragrantica have very limited experience with vintage perfume. It's astounding how many reviewers say that every old fragrance smells like Draco Noir. Yeah. See, I don't really use it. I use it as a database. I don't use it. I don't read what other people say on there. You know? I just don't. Screw the people. You know? Where is... There it is. Cypriot heat rotation. Goodness me, I can't imagine how hot it's been down in them parts. I know that Zhao, bless him, he's having to been struggling with the heat in Portugal. I mean, good grief. Scent of the day is Fahrenheit 2004. Nice. Oof. Pardon me. The Lalabo and Byredo crew have infiltrated Fragrantica. Oh dear. People who wear Lalabo and Byredo think that they know fragrances, which is a travesty, because if they knew fragrances, they wouldn't wear the Lalabo and Byredo, would they? It's just, that's a lot of people's... Rich, do you like Modern Fahrenheit? Yes, I like the Modern Fahrenheit a lot more than I like the previous formulation. It's one of the only good things that Demarche did. His reformulation of Fahrenheit was brilliant. But he was starting from a low base. The Fragrance Bros Dior Parfum. Dior Parfum is comedy gold. Let me read that again. The Fragrance Bros Dior Parfum review is comedy gold. Rich, that guy's drinking beer. Scent of the day, Nikolai, New York, intense. Smells like Bois de Portugal, I believe. Those are some heavy hitting bottles on display. Duck, are you trying to ward off the Amberwood Mafia? They wouldn't come anywhere near. I am drinking beer. There is a guy called Rich Milton who reviewed Balenciaga Pour Homme. Thank you for that, Dusan. Do you know, there are much worse fragrances I could have become synonymous with, and I am very happy that it's Balenciaga Pour Homme. I highly recommend it to you. I don't buy bottles of it anymore. If what I have doesn't last me for the rest of my life, that's my fault. So, everyone else is free. Free to buy up all the Balenciaga that there is out there, if there is any out there. Oh, I got the Mischio samples, so I don't think I'm going to do a Discovery of Fragrance First Impression series on them, because they're owned by Pep, and I'm matey with Pep. I like Pep. I don't think I'd be able to do either him or you justice if I did that, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did with Les Abstraits. New York Intense is like a cross between Bois de Portugal, Penhaligon Sartorial, and only in the opening, Floris Elite. Dry down freaks me out a bit, you know. I feel like I'm in an ancient Buddhist temple, says Nick S. What of? Ramsey did a comment right above that guy. It's super cool that you've got a litre of Balenciaga Pour Homme. Yes. Balenciaga with the incense, I see. What do I get in the dry down? It's been such a long time since I've smelled it. It's been like 6 months. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and the way donkey. That is some fragrance, that. Oh. How much of you is that left? I think I got 60 mil. No, I'm going to say 55. I'm going to say about 55 mil of that left, just over half. Were you getting them when they were 20 to 30 dollars a bottle? No. No, I think I paid something like 60, 70 for loads of 50 mils. Every time I watch a Fragrance Bros video, I can't help but think less weed, more critique. It's so good, this Balenciaga Perfume. It's so good. Oh, I can totally imagine it going out of style, though. You know, like when it did go out of style. Apparently, it was out of style as soon as it was released. It was like obsolete the day it was the day it was brought out. But I need a bottle of Balenciaga Perfume. I got a full 100 ml with a leaking sprayer for $150, says Frank. Just decant it, Frank, and then you've got yourself a full 100 ml. You know what I mean? And then you're laughing, basically. Oh. What's the most you'd pay for a 50 ml bottle now, Rich? Hard to tell. I'm not really in that position anymore, about 100, 150 pounds. When you compare it to Tom Ford, that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to compare it in the context of perfume prices, which is hard now because the perfume prices are all inflated. Compare it to a 50 ml of Tom Ford Private Blend. Compare it to a 50 ml of Frederic Malle. Compare it to a 50 ml of Killian. Compare it to a 50 ml of Creed. I would argue that Balenciaga Perfume's better than anything they've got out at the minute. I could argue in good faith, right, that Balenciaga Perfume is better than anything any of those houses have released since Balenciaga Perfume was released. Creed might have a shout with Green Irish Tweed. Malle might have a shout with Portrait of a Lady. Killian, no. So one moment for good grief. What on earth is happening? Sorry, friends, I've been distracted. Sorry about this. I wore Balenciaga Perfume last winter in Charleston on holiday and got a compliment from my waitress, like a nice compliment with an eyelash flutter from a younger girl. Panties didn't drop though. Good grief. That's not fun. I was wearing Bijan at the time. I got my Balenciaga Perfume in 91, so I was wearing loud shit then and Perry Ellis then. Almost as much fun as drinking game whilst watching a Max 40 video and awaiting another utterance of the word guys. Oof. Yikes. Boris K says, hi friends, I am moving to continental Europe next month. I have to purchase some vintages and I can't take my collection from the West Coast. Well, are you selling? You are moving to or from? Sonny's got one for 150, but I don't think I'd even get through 50 mil in a lifetime. Gonna look for a 30 mil. I didn't know Sonny was selling it, to be honest. Half brown, oh sorry, triplet. Tripler. Wherever we are, Balenciaga Perfume is rare to smell out in the wild, absolutely. I'm not a huge fan of fragrances from that time, but Duncan very kindly sent me a sample and I agree it's very special, says James. LA to Germany. Why are you moving to continental Europe, Boris? Is it just a job or a girl or a boy? What's going on? Work. Ah. Well, it has to be done. Friends, I'm going to put these away. I'm going to put these away and I am going to dehydrate. So, one moment, please. Oof. This has even got the derby little, the little derby, what's it called? Leaflet pamphlet in it. I don't know if I'm going to leave the Partout pour Homme here because it's definitely an autumn and winter perfume and I think I'm going to wear it. Ooh! '88 HH Boris HH. What do you mean by that? Give me 2 minutes, friends. I'll be back. Wow, it's fucking hot. Sweaty. It's actually cooler in here than it is out there. Yikes. Ich bin back. Sure you are. Let's put the Balenciaga away. And we'll put the chorus back over here. Whoopsie daisy. There it goes. Could wear this tomorrow, an animalic little number. Spy and Mash, you'll recognise this. Just Lancetti Uomo. A fragrant little number. I was accosted by a gang of prostitutes in Hamburg. Scary. Oh. Accosted, were you? But with almost pure Danish heritage, I blend in Germany without trying, says Alan Hansen. That explains the Hansen, Alan. Never thought you looked Danish. But then I never knew. You don't think to look, do you? So 100ml of that for £220 on eBay. They're just loads of little 30ml bottles. The ones we got, I bought about 5 of them. I think I got about 150ml for about 100 quid. 150 quid. Can't remember. Paid something for them. It's decent fragrance, to be fair. Very hairy chested. Oh dear. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Dior Homme Voyage is in my top 10 most beautiful bottles ever. Dior Homme Voyage? I don't know that it's Dior Homme Voyage. Oh, it is Dior Homme Voyage. So what the fuck is this? Is it not just Dior Homme? And those women in thingy jackets are a bit frisky. Ski jackets. Shell suits. Dior Homme Voyage is the 40ml job, isn't it? The tall, skinny Dior Homme bottle. I wonder if eBay's got any. Let's have a look. I beg your pardon, I'm sorry. Rich, is that bottle you just set out a 15ml of Le Labo? You couldn't be more wrong if you tried, sir. It's a 30ml of Lancetti Uomo, you rascal. Is Dior Homme Sport 2008 worth trying? It's the best Dior Homme Sport I've heard. Dior Voyage. Well, there's lots of makeup here. Miss Dior Pour le Voyage 1970s. Good grief, I know someone who might want that. Annie, are you okay? Cheers, Tripler. I will see you later. Suppose don't. Do you have the silver stem Dior Homme from 2005? They may do, but I certainly do. Make sure you go to see a St. Pauli football match. You'll love it. Not looking forward to Newcastle going to Dortmund. I think the Dortmund fan in the yellow wall will produce some kind of tifo that will say Saudis this, Newcastle that. And they'll probably be right about the Saudis. Saudi people are lovely. The Saudi government, not so much. Killing 100 odd people all the time. Is it every week, every month, every year? It's not ideal. It's not great. But Arab people are lovely. So you should always be careful. It's like Russians. Russians are lovely people. You know? It's just the government. Same with Americans and British people, to be fair. In fact, it's the same with people the world over. Most people are really nice or sound. You know? Johan Voyage, very cool, says Anuja. Anuja, have you ever had any of that? Ah, welcome, Eugene. Did you say Dioram 2005 travel bottle? Beautiful design also. No, I didn't. Little bottle, 30ml travel size. Is it just the same fragrance? Is it the same fragrance as Dioram 2005? Oh, this Lancetti's outrageous, but it really is very, very 70s, 80s, hairy-chested, animalic. Not overtly animalic like Koros, but like, grrr, I'm going to push up against a wall kind of thing. Anuj, I'll buy it for Richard's birthday, says Dushan. There is no need. You don't have to do that. Apparently football players don't get paid on time in Saudi. Yeah, apparently they let that Jota go. You know Jota? Diogo Jota. It's not Diogo Jota. It's the one that they signed from Celtic. The Saudis apparently paid £25 million for him. Paid him 250 grand a week. And then after a month, they released him. Paid up his whole contract, 52 million quid. So they spent 77 million pounds for a month. I wonder what caused that. Absolute batshit. Yeah, he can't play for Al Ittihad. I don't know. That's crazy. Well, it's nothing to the Saudis, is it? £77 million for a month. It's nothing to the Saudis at all. Absolutely insane. But there we are. I mean, they've got $17 billion or £17 billion to fucking spend on football, these 4 football clubs, to make the Saudi Pro League one of the most, get some of the best players in the world. Sorry friends, just blasting my inhaler. It's getting a little thick in here. Well, modern and taste, still good, says Eugene. Yeah, I agree. That Dioram Sport is a grail, says Stephs. It's the only one I don't have from the original releases. Don't know if you can open it. Did you say DH 2005 travel bottle? Beautiful design also. Don't know if you can open it. eBay image. It's the same fragrance, Anuj. I see. Have you ever had it? Have you ever had it in? Oh, I'm so good. I might wear this tomorrow. I've got so many fragrances to choose from. So many to choose from. There was a DR Sport 2008 for Perfume. It was 65 or 100ml, like €80 or so. I wonder if it's still in good condition. It should be. Dior used decent quality stuff from that time. I could complete the set. Where's it coming from? Shall we have a look? Let's go to Perfume, friends, and see what's happening. Let's go to Souk and then search and put Dior Sport. Dior Homme Sport 2001, 2021, 2012, 2021, 21, 12, 21, 17, 21, 2008. Incredible. So there is. But where are you coming from? Where are you being shipped? It is a German bottle. Huh? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I don't. Oh no. I'll have a think about it. I'll have a think about it, friends. We'll see. German seller by man. Who are the highest paid soccer players, says in news? It's Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't it? They were going to make it Mo Salah. But that's because he's an Arab. Like, he's from Egypt, and the Saudis wanted like the best Arab player ever, which he is, to be fair. I mean, they can't. You tell me a better Arab player, and I'm happy to fucking bow to your greater wisdom. But Mo Salah's probably the best Arab player ever. North African, Arabian, all that kind of. Yeah, but Rich, have you heard about them trying to put a team into the Championship League? Which means they'd have to obey European FFP rules, which would stop them being able to spend billions. There's no chance of that happening. There's no chance of that happening. Just none. They just can't. They can't just insert a team. The Champions League rules have already been bastardised for next season to keep teams like Liverpool and Tottenham happy. I just can't see that at all. I mean, don't get us wrong, it wouldn't surprise us, but I just can't see it happening. Whew. I am sweating like a granny's fanny on bingo night. It's getting warm in here. Who are the highest paid soccer players? Highest paid soccer players. Let's have a look, shall we? I would have thought it was Ronaldo. He'll be on like $1 million, $2 million a week. I know Kylian Mbappe is on like $500,000 a week, if not more. Highest paid footballer. So on the 23rd of August, it stood at Neymar, who earns 204, so that's £5 million a week he's on. Doesn't take into account his commercial income, which will take his earnings up to £300 million a year. He also gets the use of a private jet, supercars, a mansion, and he can do what he wants, basically. Ronaldo gets £173 million a year. Benzema gets £172 million a year. Mbappe gets £100 million a year, so he's on £2 million a week. N'Golo Kante gets £86 million a year, which is ironic because his knees will have gone. Lionel Messi gets a paltry £42 million a year, but he doesn't play in Saudi, so fair play to him, and he is the best player to ever play the fucking game. Frankie de Jong gets fucking £650 million a year, which is just absolutely fucking insane. Because Barcelona are buckled with their fucking financial pressures. They're so... I mean, that fucking Bartomeu once fired into the sun. Welcome, Lily. Oscar, when he left Chelsea for fucking 30 million a year, but he's kicking himself now. Kalidou Koulibaly's on 30 million a year. Toni Kroos is only on 20 million a year, one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. De Bruyne is on 20 million a year. Haaland's on 19 million a year, which is fuck all, really, considering he's probably got the best future in the game out of all of those players. Money. So they've just got too much money. They paid far too much. The fact of the matter is, any of them could just be walking down the street and twist their ankle, and that's it. It's all over. Fuck me, at that point, money becomes pointless to those players. Yep. Makes hockey players' salaries seem like they work at Burger King. Stupid money. It's hotter than a smackhead spoon on gyro day. Yes, that's quite funny as well, actually. Is your heart is bigger than all that money, says Tushan. Welcome, Lily and Anouge. Lily, has our parcel got through customs yet? Do we know? I bet it hasn't. I bet it hasn't. Let's have a look, shall we? There is that. Let's go to Royal Mail's tracking. It's the weekend, so I'm going to say no. No, the customs should still be working on the weekend, swines. Like, there's no way that customs shouldn't be working on the weekends. Well, it seems that you are right. Which is outrageous. USPS, let's have a look. Theirs is a little bit more sort of in-depth. Customs clearance, customs transit. Yep, it's just sitting there doing fuck all. The fucking swines. I'll tell you what, I'll just put track my parcel. Global tracking page. That's actually quite a good one to use, that actually. It's very detailed. Let's see what you say. Anytime. Keep going. Come on. Item received. We have your item and it's on its way. More information. Customs clearance. Your item is being processed. So it's saying Royal Mail have the item and it's on its way. More information will be... So it's at Heathrow. So it's gone through Langley. And it's at Heathrow. And according to Global Package fucking thingy, it could very well be delivered tomorrow. So we'll see. How exciting. Galen has been here the whole time. I'm sorry, lol, it's out of my hands. How much did they pay for Grealish? 100 million. Silly money, that. I'm as eager for you to get it as you are. Why won't you let me pay you? Customs everywhere are the biggest useless asshats, lazy pricks. Very much so. And on that note of deep fundamental truth from Anouge, and it is, I'm going to say goodbye and good night. Thank you all very much for watching. I have had fun. We brought out the big hitters tonight, and it was good. It is always a pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Lily, if it isn't, I'm still going to pay you, so you sent it, it got into the country. If it isn't delivered, I'll give you the money. But anyway, Galen's outraged, which has just made my night. Thank you very much. You know just what to say. I am away. Good night, everyone. I will see you all again soon. Goodbye.